Fatigue, depression, weight gain, brain fog, and weight loss resistance are all signs of thyroid issues. 1 in 8 women have thyroid issues. 60% of the population has a thyroid issue and don't even know it. And there are reasons behind this, because the thyroid is the backup of everything but the master of none. So what that technically means is that your thyroid gland is affected by all the other organ systems and other types of hormones around it. It is getting hindered, so to say, from the outside environment. And in today's video, I'm going to give you everything you need to know about thyroid hormone to help you with weight loss, energy levels, fatigue, and just ending it all. My name is Diego Reyes, functional health coach, functional nutritionist, owner of Complete Vitality Functional Health Coaching. We are coaching an organization that helps men and women just like you get to the root cause, heal their gut, balance their hormones, lose excess body fat, and feel and look their best. And we do it taking a functional root cause approach. And so, to start things off here, first of all, what we need to understand is that there are many things that impact the factor of our thyroid. There are many things that impact our thyroid, and it is giving us the symptoms of fatigue, weight loss resistance, and all other symptoms. And most conventional medicine only tests T4 and TSH, which is not the entire picture, and it's unfortunately the truth. And many people are just getting prescribed all these medications, and they're taking the medication, but they don't feel well. All right. So some of the main reasons to why either your thyroid's imbalanced, your medication's not working, or whatever, is, their food sensitivities and food allergens impact your thyroid health. Okay. Pretty much your inflammation, toxins, stress, infections, nutrient deficiencies. Okay. Certain medications, adrenal dysfunction, and changes in gut bacteria all influence your thyroid. Okay. And so let's first talk about how the thyroid is actually synthesized here. And we're not going to go high level because I want you to understand this, because you need to understand this, because this is the reason why you don't feel well. So first things first is that we have something called TSH from the hypothalamus. You can call it thyroid stimulating hormone to remember it. So it's in the hypothalamus. It signals to the pituitary gland to release TSH, which is thyroid stimulating hormone, and then it signals to the thyroid gland to make mostly 95% of it T4, and then the rest to T3, 5%. Okay, but then that inactive T4 has to convert into the active form. Okay, and if you're not familiar with what any of this means, I do not blame you. But just understand that, if you're just taking thyroid hormone, it has to convert into the active form unless you're taking T3, which there are issues with that. And so if you are taking thyroid hormone, you're still dealing with symptoms. The conversion is not happening. And there are many things that can impact the conversion: gut bacterial imbalance, poor liver function, toxins, stress, inflammation, all these things, which I work on head on inside the program. Now, there are many key nutrients that impact and influence your thyroid. Selenium and iodine are one of the top two. But how does it actually work? Well, selenium works on an enzyme called deiodinase, which is the conversion enzyme from T4 into T3. Okay, and then it gets into the active form of T3. And then iodine is pretty much, it flows into the bloodstream, the thyroid picks it up and then makes it whatever it needs, because each T3 and T4 are iodine atoms. So in T3 there's 3 iodine atoms, and then T4 there's 4 iodine atoms. And so when we're looking at it broad, I'm just gonna close the notes, because I'm just gonna talk head on here, because I think that it's just important for me to come from the heart here. It's because on a day-to-day basis, I work with many people that struggle with thyroid problems. Okay, there are many people that struggle with thyroid problems, and it can come from, like I said, the food sensitivities. Many people don't even know that they have a food allergen, or a food sensitivity, and so they're eating this food, and then it's causing an inflammatory response within the body. Now, here's one thing to know about 60 to 90% of people struggling with hypothyroidism are actually struggling with Hashimoto's, an autoimmune condition. Okay, and so it is the immune system that's attacking the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is, not the culprit. And so it's unfortunate because, you know, many people are just taking thyroid medication and not even knowing that it's actually an autoimmune condition. Like I even had this the other day. There was a woman who was doing everything. I'm talking about gut detoxes, liver cleanses, or, you know, different antimicrobial treatments to help with their gut. But at the core of it, it was the Hashimoto's that was giving her the constipation and the fatigue. And so once we worked a process that, you know, worked on the underlying causes of the autoimmune condition, she obviously felt well. And so when we're looking at hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, thyroid issues, most people, like I said, want to blame the thyroid. But the thyroid is the, you know, backup of everything. So like I said, what they're trying to do is fix the thyroid without addressing all the things that actually influence the thyroid. So they'll take minerals naturally, you know, and if you're deficient and if you have a problem with that, and definitely will help, but it won't fix the root cause. And so they're taking these, you know, different hormones and stuff like that, and so they're taking it and they don't feel well because it's not actually getting to the root cause of it. And so another way to say this is that many people are, you know, struggling with Hashimoto's and think they can't put it into remission. You can put Hashimoto's into remission. You just have to get to the underlying causes of that immunological response. So what I mean by that is that leaky gut, toxins, food sensitivities, inflammation, inflammatory foods, all these things impact the immune system, okay? Leaky gut in particularly releases something called lipopolysaccharides, which is an inflammatory negative gram bacteria into your bloodstream. Another one is that many individuals are not even aware that, you know, their hypothyroidism is they might know that it is subclinical, but they don't know that it's actually just something that is a period of time. A period of time where you can have just lower thyroid hormone or higher thyroid hormone. So what I mean by that is that if you're very stressed out, if you're stressed out, you know, you're working out all day, you're working all day, you got kids and all that, it will increase your cortisol. That increase in cortisol will increase your TSH, will decrease your active T3, increase your reverse T3, and the latter, decrease T4 as well. And many people do not know this because I'm working with everyday people. I'm talking about people on a day-to-day basis. I'm not just looking at the literature, even though this is all literature based, but I'm working with people on a day-to-day basis. And once we correct their lifestyle stress, we help clean up their bacteria, what's inside their gut, their inflammation, because actually a majority of these problems come from, you know, bacterial overgrowth, a dysbiosis. So this is why I focus on cleaning up the gut in the beginning of my process, while also working on liver detoxification to get the toxins out of the body. And what's actually not talked about is that in 2023, there was a study done about EDCs, endocrine disrupting chemicals, in it being the link to cancer. But the most common cancer was thyroid cancer. And yet no one's talking about this, okay? Also, it's just showing that endocrine disrupting chemicals destroyed the thyroid. We're talking about plastics, BPA, stuff that you're using on an everyday basis for your hair and your skin, your nails, whatever, okay? And so we have to talk about this because many people do not even know this is impacting them. Another thing that's impacting their thyroid is the nutrient deficiencies. Now, so what can you actually do about your thyroid issues? So number one is to obviously follow an anti-inflammatory diet. Now this is obviously a no-brainer, but sometimes if we're struggling with gut imbalance as well, we want to stick to lower FODMAP. Another thing is eliminating the things that can negatively affect the thyroid gland. Okay, I think mostly it's gluten for a majority of individuals. Sometimes it's dairy, depending on the product. And then obviously soy, cereal grains, processed oils, seed oils. We got to remove these things because they just impact the thyroid head on. Another thing is that we want to support the thyroid with nutrients. And so obviously we want to get everything from food, so we want to support it with vitamin A, zinc, selenium, iodine, tyrosine, okay, all these things. And so majority of those things are in Brazil nuts for the selenium, iodine, different seaweeds, eggs, obviously the salt, using iodine salt, Another one is vitamin A, which we can get in, meat, a lot of meat, red meat, animal protein, tyrosine animal protein. Okay, so we can get a lot of these things, leafy greens for the B12s, all these things, because this is actually what I take as a functional nutritionist as well. And so we have to look at all these things that are the nutrients bound in them to help support the thyroid gland and help you with any nutrient deficiencies. Now, I like to actually use supplementation properly sometimes with my clients that struggle with thyroid issues, because specific products that I use, which I'll link below, has glandular support in them, meaning they have the actual thyroid gland coming from the animal. And what that does is actually gives you the nutrients bound to support the thyroid. But after that, you'd want to help with your stress. Adrenal dysfunction is a big thing. A lot of people have high cortisol, and once you get cortisol under control, you can get thyroid hormone under control. Another thing is blood sugar balance. If your glucose can't get into the cells, there's going to be no ATP, no mitochondria, no energy essentially for thyroid hormone to obviously get made and synthesized. So we have to make sure that blood sugar is balanced. Next is gut health. We have to make sure that our gut is healthy. If we have any type of leaky gut or gut bacteria imbalance, meaning we have overgrowth, that will impact the conversion of thyroid hormone. It will cause inflammation within the body, and then obviously give that immunological, like autoimmune response. And so the next thing and the last thing is liver detoxification. If our liver is too burdened of toxins, it is going to impact our thyroid gland. So if you are struggling with thyroid problems, do not neglect it. You 100% need to get to the root cause of it if you ever want to heal your thyroid. And this is exactly what I do for my clients and for people just like you that are struggling. We fix your gut, hormones, correct your thyroid, help you lose weight, building muscle, get tight, toned, and sexy. That's exactly what we do. Okay, we're focused on it. We're focused on reversing your chronic health issues. Okay, that's how we built a reputation. And so if you are struggling and you need help, I have tons of other resources. But if you just want to stop the guesswork, stop trying to put it all together, and finally actually get guaranteed results, then this is for you. I am for you. If you're ready to fully transform your life from the inside out, message me, root cause, check out my other information, and have a blessed day.